Think you know everything there is to know about the actors from your favorite Marvel films? Think again. There are tons of behind-the-scenes secrets that Marvel likes to keep under wraps, and those are the stories we're talking about today. Enjoy this video and be sure to subscribe to Screen Rant for more awesome stuff every day. Now before we start, can you name this movie from these emojis? Hang on to your answer and stay tuned for more fun movie trivia throughout the video. Here are 10 superhero actors who have secrets only Marvel knows.
I'm always angry.
Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk. After Marvel and Edward Norton decided to part ways, the studio knew they needed a new actor to play the Hulk in their cinematic universe. While many actors were reportedly considered, the truth is that Joss Whedon wanted only one man for the job. Whedon had recently watched Martin Scorsese's psychological thriller Shutter Island, and was obsessed with how open and intriguing Mark Ruffalo was in the film. Ruffalo and Marvel quickly came to an agreement, and just like that, Bruce Banner was reborn. Although Ed Norton is a great actor, it's really hard to picture him in the MCU now instead of Mark Ruffalo, as the whole world has fallen in love with his take on the mean green monster. Sebastian Stan as the Winter Soldier. Chris Evans' time as Captain America is likely limited, and the favorite to take over the role is definitely Sebastian Stan, aka Bucky Barnes. Stan has been great in all of his MCU performances, and it would be very cool to see him take on a bigger role, but as it turns out, we almost got to see this way sooner. When Marvel was originally casting Captain America, Stan was near the top of their list for the role, and although he didn't end up getting the part, we have to think that Marvel still wants to see him wield the shield. The actor is young and has a lot of career aspirations, the biggest of them being to star in a Tarantino film, and also to play the Riddler on the big screen. Look out, Marvel, or you may just lose your next cap to the DC universe. Speaking of the Riddler, now there's one character that's long overdue for a proper big screen adaptation. Can you name the actor who played the role back in 1995's Batman Forever? The answer will be at the end of our video. Aaron Taylor Johnson as Quicksilver. Judging from his very short-lived stint as Quicksilver in the MCU, you might think that Marvel isn't too fond of actor Aaron Taylor Johnson. Well, that actually couldn't be farther from the truth, as ATJ seems to secretly be one of the company's favorite guys. Johnson held the leading role in both Kick-Ass movies, and was actually offered the leading role in 2014's Kingsman: The Secret Service, all of which are of course Marvel properties. On top of all that, he was also reportedly heavily considered to become the new Spider-Man before Andrew Garfield ended up landing the role. Although his MCU appearances are likely done, we wouldn't be surprised to see the actor pop up in another Marvel property in the near future.
Star-Lord. Who? Star-Lord, man.
Chris Pratt as Star-Lord. When it was announced that Chris Pratt was going to be starring as the leading man in Marvel's intergalactic super movie Guardians of the Galaxy, many fans were taken aback. At that point, Pratt had been best known for being a chubby goofball, so the idea of him being an Avenger seemed quite bizarre. However, it seems like Marvel might have been paying closer attention than everyone else, as Pratt's career was secretly taking off. In the 3 years before Guardians of the Galaxy, Chris Pratt had leading roles in Moneyball, Zero Dark 30, and Her, movies that were all nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. It seems like Marvel was tracking this trend and was able to snag Pratt right before he became the superstar that he is today.
Nowhere to hide, Peter.
Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield takes a lot of flack for how his Spider-Man franchise turned out, but it wasn't all his fault, and it sounds like his heart was at least in the right place. When first wearing the Spider-Man costume, Andrew Garfield admitted to shedding tears. Garfield is also a very committed actor, and to prepare for his role as Spider-Man, he spent time studying the movements of spiders and trying to bring those physical qualities to his performance. Truthfully, there are a lot of great moments from the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and we have to think that Garfield's hard work is responsible for that. Now, if only the studio had been as committed as their leading man was, we might have actually gotten a third installment, and it might have actually been good.
This isn't gonna change what happened. I don't care. He killed my mom.
Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. When an actor like Robert Downey Jr. asks for something, the studio usually listens, and that's exactly what happened during the production of Iron Man 3. Originally, Pepper Potts, played by Gwyneth Paltrow, wasn't going to be in the film, but RDJ wanted to see out the progress that her and Tony Stark had made in the first two installments. Marvel ultimately decided to go for it, and we have to think that it was most likely a decision to just try to keep their flagship star happy. It sounds like Robert Downey Jr. can pretty much get away with anything he wants at Marvel. To be fair, he has made them an insane amount of money, so he probably doesn't feel too bad asking for what he wants. Speaking of that, do you know how much RDJ took home for his role in Captain America Civil War? Was it A, 20 million, B, 40 million, or C, 60 million? Hang on to your answer for a few more minutes.
Here's a shock. Girlfriend with a problem.
Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. While Ant-Man might not be the greatest film in the MCU, it definitely offers a unique flavor, and that's mostly thanks to the comedy chops of star Paul Rudd. The actor is great in the leading role, but not everyone was into the idea from the get-go. When Rudd told his 9-year-old son he was going to be Ant-Man, his son said, "Wow, I can't wait to see how stupid that'll be." Truthfully, his son wasn't the only one with doubts, and Marvel knew that, so they spent a ton of money marketing the crap out of this film. On top of that, the studio made sure that Rudd was willing to stick to a serious workout regimen so he could look more like a superhero. The actor listened and actually got in such good shape that his new muscles ripped through his Ant-Man costume, and the wardrobe department was forced to make a new one. Be careful what you wish for, Marvel. Hugh Jackman as Logan. Logan is not only Hugh Jackman's final outing as Wolverine, but it is likely his best, as the film is a fantastic and unique character study that makes great use of its R rating. While the movie has turned out great, Marvel had its doubts at first, so Wolverine himself, Hugh Jackman, actually took a salary cut in order to make things easier. Jackman also put in a ton of physical work for the role, and has stated that it was the hardest he has ever trained in his entire life. Marvel loves to advertise Jackman's crazy workout regimen, but something that stays more under the radar is the fact that Sir Patrick Stewart lost a whopping 21 pounds to play a more feeble-looking version of Charles Xavier. In the end, both of these body transformations work well for the film, but we have to think that the actors are happy that they can now go back to their normal eating habits.
That's the coolest name ever!
Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. The marketing behind 2016's Deadpool was absolutely brilliant, as they basically let fans in on all the secrets from behind the scenes of the movie to get them excited for the Ryan Reynolds-led picture. One lesser-known fact from the flick was that the taxi driver character, Deepinder, was named after an old friend of Reynolds who had passed away from a freak accident. This was Ryan's tribute to him. Another fun fact from behind the movie is that Ryan Reynolds totally stole the Deadpool costume once filming was done. Fox decided it was better to just let him have it rather than put up a fight. Looks like Ryan got lucky this time, but for an actor from the DC Extended Universe, things weren't quite so easy. Do you know which DC actor tried to keep their costume before being told it would cost them a cool $100,000? Hang on to your answer until the end of the video.
You've been busy, and you've been a complete idiot.
Chris Evans as Captain America. While there may be rumors swirling around about who will be the next Captain America, Chris Evans isn't done just yet. The actor has done an amazing job bringing the super soldier to life, but it turns out things haven't always been a walk in the park. While filming scenes for the Avengers, Evans actually started to get migraines from the outfit he wore, but the actor pushed through and kept smiling. As it turns out, Evans was actually very reluctant to take the Captain America role in the first place, but he was eventually convinced when he got a sneak peek at large-scale plans Marvel had in place. Looking back now, Evans says that playing Steve Rogers has been the best decision of his entire life. So there you have it. There's our list of 10 superhero actors who have secrets only Marvel knows. And now it's time to answer those trivia questions. Jim Carrey played the Riddler in Batman Forever. Robert Downey Jr.'s Captain America Civil War salary was $40 million. And finally, it was Ben Affleck who tried to take home his Batsuit from Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. Thanks for watching.